Triple E Elvis 777 clocking in, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Here for the people, even if the people don't need me. I'm just gonna go on a little spiel, I guess. Today I have a My Father Blue. First time I've ever had one of these ever in my life. So I'm gonna try this out. Also, I just woke up and it's like 2 in the afternoon. Today we're gonna talk about bravery. And like your duties, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to give up the whole book, but I make a deal with some of my friends every once in a while, like a movie deal. Like we'll trade a movie for movie, or we'll trade like YouTube video for YouTube video, or in this case, we traded book for book. He wanted me to read this book right here. Okay. Courage is Calling from Ryan Holiday. And I only have like about an hour left. I listen to it and follow along. Read it on my own time. Like, I'll do 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Pretty much whenever I feel like it. I personally think a book like this is something that young men should read in probably like ninth grade. I really do. I think, especially today, I think a lot of these values and selflessness, I think all of that is pretty much dying. It's still out there, but it's rare. Quotes that came out to me, or that stuck with me, is one was, I guess Leonidas said, "If not us, then who?" Like if it's not us that are going to change the world, then who is? Chicken behind me. Yeah, but if it's not us, then who? So pretty much in that instance, when there's nobody to count on, you got to be the person to count on. And a lot of people in hard times don't think that it's them that's going to be the ones to change everything or change their circumstances. But something that we could all reflect on, something that we could all learn from is it is us. It is our responsibility to change the world. It takes one person to do something brave, and then from those small actions, this is a beautiful label. From those small actions, drastic changes could come, and if for somebody else's benefit, for the world's benefit. And another quote was, "It takes seconds of courage to change a lifetime." Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I just woke up. Beautiful label from My Father cigar, My Father Blue. Beautiful label from My Father Blue. But yeah, I think this is a good book for young men. Sorry, guys. I don't have a set topic that I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about this book the whole time either, to be honest with you. I think people should read it for themselves, or listen to it for themselves. Does it pertain to me in my life right now? Probably not. There's nothing really that I have to... There's no decisions that I have to be really brave to make. If I look over my life, have I done things that are brave? Yes. Am I the bravest all the time? No. But for young people, especially that's never heard information like this before, I think it's good for them to hear. Is like, step up when it's time to step up. Do the right thing, even when it might cost you your life. There's people that, there was a story in here where 2 Marines held the line, and just for them holding the line, they ended up getting killed, but it saved 50 people. And maybe they didn't know that at the time, but looking in retrospect, it was a very good thing. It took them being brave to make that happen. Sometimes you gotta look out for the well-being of others rather than yourself. In the most terrible times, in the most hard times. But I will say this, today, I mean, maybe in America, it's more coddled, where it's coming. I think it's coming, right? I do think there's going to be hard times coming. But it's not like it was in World War I or World War II or anything like that. And that could relate to being brave at your job too. You could have hard decisions at your job where you feel strongly about something and it could get you fired. But the right thing to do is to stand up for your beliefs and don't let people trample over you because of financial gain or, I don't know, a personal vendetta they have. Sometimes you got to go against the grain. And even if it doesn't turn out and you're good at that moment, that doesn't mean down the road it won't turn good. Some people have made decisions that's, like, let's say, I don't know, communist China. There's certain examples where people were put in prison wrongfully because they had a certain view that was against the grain. But it took brave people to stand up, like maybe like a Martin Luther King figure who said, "This is right no matter what. I'm gonna go. I hope my. I'm gonna go stand up for what I believe in, regardless of my well-being." And some people spent years in prison. Some people lost their lives. Some people lost their jobs. So it's a great book. It really is. I don't know if it fully hits home with me, but it's a great book. I think it's a net positive. So maybe that's why I'm saying young people should read it. Young men should read this or hear it. It's like a good age, like ninth grade. That's a good. Probably like, I don't know, how old were you in ninth grade? 14, 15, 16? I don't know. So that age group, that age range, that's a good time to hear something like this, something powerful like this. It says New York Times best-selling author. So, I mean, that right there tells you there's got some value in it. It's got some weight to it. But hard times are probably coming to us. You can't change nothing about it. It is what it is. Let me see this. My light. I need to charge that light, huh? Yeah, we got hard times coming. I was just looking at the U.S. debt and how much we owe. Apparently, we owe ourselves majority of the debt. Americans owe America the majority of the debt, which just makes you seem like money's not real. It's like, how do you owe yourself? Think about that. And if you really look at it, it's like, I don't know if it's a Ponzi scheme, but they hide it under treasury bonds, and then my whole thought on this is, when did McDonald's become $15 like a meal? Like, our dollar is losing value over decisions the government's making, but at the end of the day, we owe ourselves, and it just seems like money's all a joke. It really does. So, how do we make money last? Because every time it seems like the value of it goes down, it never goes back up. And if it does, it's like small increments. But my example of that is, like, you'll get a cheeseburger back in the day for like $2. You know what I'm saying? Now there was a point where it's like $5. There's a point where it's $8. Well, now we're at, like, I don't know, $15 for a meal. It doesn't go back down. It just goes, the price of something just keeps going up and it doesn't stop. Sorry, I gotta puff this or else it'll go out. But yeah, and if you look at what money is, especially today, it's only backed. The only reason why our money has value is because we have military, a military backing, and I can't remember what that is called. There's a term for civilizations that only have military backing, and every single one in history has always failed because you can't just bully people into saying your money's the best. Like, not, I wouldn't say bully, but you can't. You have to actually have some kind of wealth rather than, oh, we have the biggest sword. You know what I mean? So, just all of this as a whole seems like we're headed towards a direction of, I don't know, one world government. That sounds about right. Probably gonna have one world government one day. So and think about that, right? If we have a one world government, that means all of our governments or all of our countries aren't gonna be our countries. Like it's just part of it. I'm sure. I also see. I have so many different things going on in my head because it's like, you got, you got every time you open up your phone is doomsday. So, you got that too. You live life though. It's not doomsday. You enjoy it. You have a good cigar, some coffee in the morning, go hang out with some friends. It's nice. So I do have all these conflicting thoughts right now because half of me is like, none of this is real. Screw it. The other half of me is like, what are we gonna do about it? Like we need to do something about it. And especially now that somebody chose me to read this, I'm like, okay, it is our responsibility to fix things. Sometimes we do gotta step up and say the unpopular opinion. If that's how we feel strongly about, then yeah, we do. If that's something you feel strongly about, then yes, you need to speak up and say something. Or doing what is right when it's hard. A lot of people lose that. Doing what is right when it's hard. Doing something courageous, doing something brave under unfortunate circumstances is what makes it brave. If it was easy, it wouldn't be brave. The fact that there's something to risk makes it hard. But the concept of money to me, there's a lot I could talk about. The concept of money to me right now is we just print as much as we can to pay ourselves. Yeah, we print as much as we can to pay ourselves because the U.S. owes itself majority of the debt. And then I think Japan's the actual first, the first in line of how like who we owe the most, and it's like 1.1 trillion or something, or 1.8 trillion. But if you look at our debt, it's like, I don't know, 36 trillion, 38 trillion. I don't have my phone on me. You can Google it. That's what we got Google for. So, how do you owe yourself is a question. And to really think about that is, when it comes, if you apply that to yourself, oh, I owe myself $400. Like the only way for me to go get the $400 that I owe myself is to go work for it. I owe myself $400. So if you apply it to yourself, it just doesn't even really make sense. You got to work for things. So it just seems like if the government owes the United States population, which is probably like the Federal Reserves or whatever, which is not part of the actual government, so they print the money and we owe them for printing the money. So who are you paying? You're paying the same people that are living and benefiting off of your society. It's their dollar that's crashing, but they're printing the dollar. So it's just like a mind Rubik's cube, and it sounds like there's going to be problems in the future for that. It really does. I mean, look at the prices of groceries. Look at stuff like that. This didn't happen in 4 years. This happened in like 100 years. This has been going on since the Federal Reserve has been a thing. Since they've been printing money. Like, we don't barter anymore. We don't have gold backing anymore. So, what is it? It's just an imaginary. It makes you not want to work. Thinking about it, it's like, what am I working for? Fake money? Monopoly money? And it might be, there's going to be a day where it's going to be worth Monopoly money. That's kind of what I'm getting at. It makes me mad. It makes me mad. Because we literally sacrifice our time away from our families to go make this fake money. That being said, I don't think there's good people out there that aren't trying to fix it. I think there is. I think there's probably a lot of people trying to fix it and change the circumstances. I think there's good people in government and bad people in government. It's just what it is. But guess what? It's people like me and you who could be in government. It's people like me and you who could make those changes. If you feel strongly about something, it's your time to step up and change it. And that applies for all of us. This is my mental gymnastics today, guys. I know it's a hit and miss and it's everywhere, but I just wanted to go on a little rant about that. Good book. I think the youth needs to hear it. I mean, I don't want to go into all details about everything I learned in there. I think that if you're interested, buy it. I think he actually sent it to me. But thriftbooks.com, you get books for cheap. You know, so if you're interested, I'm almost done with it. And then on to the next one. On to the next one. And if you don't like reading, you can always listen to books on Audible. You can do like an hour, 30 minutes a day. Go for a walk. I don't know, drink your coffee in the morning. Listen to it. And I would say it's a net positive for your life rather than a net negative, depending on what you're reading. Either way, Triple E Elvis, 777 clocking out, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, here for the people, even if the people don't need me. Until next time.